Hey friends, I tried this earlier. I'm going to try it again. I don't know if it's going to get, for some reason YouTube would not publish this video. I don't know if it's because of what I was saying, if it was too politically incorrect or what. I know I've promised y'all that I'm not going to be saying a whole lot about what is going on because it just seems to be like I don't know. I have been getting too involved to some degree, but listen, we have got to do something about what is happening in our country right now before we get too far gone. When did it become okay for things to happen like what happened on Saturday night at the White House press correspondence dinner, where a comedian can stand up in front of people who are supposed to be above board, the most elite news people in the country and probably in the world, who are supposed to be honorable people who do nothing but report news with factual based information, to get a laugh watching a comedian tear someone apart for a laugh. When did that become okay? When did it become okay for people to play on someone's dignity to get a laugh? Sarah Huckabee Sanders was treated terribly Saturday night by this wolf person who does not even rank as a comedian in my mind. She talked about abortion as though it was some kind of fun thing to do at the park on a Sunday afternoon. Knock a baby in the head and rip it out of the womb is basically the kind of thing she was saying. I'm not going to get into a discussion about whether abortion is right or wrong. That's not the point. The point is that you don't use something as sensitive as that, and it will always be a sensitive issue because you are taking a life out of being when you're doing an abortion. Nobody can argue that. To make fun of it, to get a laugh, is absolutely appalling. There's no excuse, there's no reason for it, and it's absolutely not funny. To make fun of someone's physical appearance to get a laugh has always been wrong, and she's not the first one to do it. It's been done before. And I guess the reason it hit home with me was because she was talking about something that's dear to me about degenerative tissue that may cause someone to have a lazy eye or something like that. Anyway, this person has no business being an entertainer. The fact that the people who run that correspondence dinner would allow someone to stand up there, because we all know that whatever's going to be put forward to the American people on that show is vetted before it's allowed to be put on the air. This is not just mistakenly happening. This is done on purpose. When did that become okay? When are we going to stop it? When are we going to stop allowing people to be torn apart? When? Why are we allowing it to happen? When did it become okay for journalists to tell blatant lies in order to fulfill the demands of their supporters and sponsors who are political animals? When did that become okay? When did we allow our minds to be tormented, to be programmed by noise being made by journalists in the news telling lies about our leaders and about others in order to promote or twist the truth for an outcome that is totally false? Regardless of whether it's on the right or on the left that this is happening, you as an American should be very, very concerned that that's happening. And it is happening. And you know it, and I know it. When did that become okay? When did you as an American start feeling entertained by that? When did you start feeling like that it's no big deal for you to be brainwashed by the news media, supported by some political agenda, not backed by fact? When? Why? And for what purpose are you going to allow that to happen? Regardless of what your political beliefs are, what's happening right now is absolutely an affront on your liberties as an American. Your freedom of speech, your freedom of liberty, your freedom of religion is beginning to be ripped away from you, bit by bit. When did it become okay for our congressional leaders to not adhere to the laws that they and us laid down from our Constitution and our legislative branch in order to ensure that we are all protected under those same laws? When did it become okay for our leaders in Congress to live their lives to adhere to the laws other than what they lay down for us to adhere to? When did it become two separate legislative and judicial branches of our government? One for them and one for us. When did you decide, as the voters of this country, that it was okay to have two forms of government within the United States? One for them and one for us. How long are you going to allow this to continue? Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or whatever your political or religious beliefs are, whether you're a millennial or you're an old person, young person, it doesn't matter. Mexican, American, it doesn't matter. The very fabric of this country is being ripped apart because you have allowed these people in Congress to go unchallenged in their corruption and total power. When we used to have term limits for congressmen, which we did have at one time, they did not have time to establish total authority over us. They came, they did what they could, they left, and they went back to their law practice, to their doctor's practice, to their whatever it was. But it was for a short time, not for a lifetime. There was no retirement when you got out of Congress. There was no pension. Listen, we have given them too much power. We have allowed them to corrupt themselves. We are the ones that are accountable for what has happened. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to take responsibility for allowing our leaders to have taken complete control of our lives in this country. We have allowed people who thirst for power to become all powerful. We can't blame them completely. We have to take accountability. But we have to remember who has the authority in this country to make these changes that need to happen. We are the ones who have the authority. They answer to us. We do not answer to them. What is happening in Congress right now with these commissions and these investigations is a farce. You know it, I know it, and it is not even entertainment anymore. It is absolutely unconstitutional what is happening. There has never been any evidence produced to show that there should ever have even been an investigation into our president or into his candidacy. There simply is nothing that should have resulted in a criminal or a collusion or any of that, and you know it and I know it. They know it. Yet they continue to disrupt our president in trying to get the things done that he was elected to do. And it wouldn't matter if it was Republican or Democrat. It's the same scenario. Flip it, it doesn't matter. We would still be having the same argument we're having right now. You know it needs to stop. We all need to know it. We know that this needs to stop, and we need to rethink how we're governed by these people in our government. When did we allow this to happen? When did we allow them to be totally corrupt and in control of us? This needs to stop. You know it, and I know it. You know, journalists used to be held liable for telling lies about the news. There was a time when they were held to a certain moral and ethical standard in the news. What's happening now is news is for sale to the highest bidder. These people who go to Congress come back and become journalists, news reporters. Are you seriously telling me that you can believe anything that a congressman is going to tell you who is now a news reporter? No way. It's too bad that our elected officials have gone so far down the hole that we can't even find enough elected officials in Congress to stand up for what's right in our Constitution. It's sad that we can't find enough support, because they know, everybody who's looking at this, you, me, Congress, the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and the executive branch all know that what the Clintons did, what Comey's doing and has done, what they're doing is absolutely in violation of the constitutional laws of this country. You know it, everybody knows it. Why is nothing happening? Why is this continuing? Why are we allowing this to continue, my fellow Americans? Why? I ask you to challenge your elected officials to bring this thing forward. Do a little investigating on your own, as I have done. I have been doing it. I have been digging. I can share facts with you if you really want to know, but you can do your own. There are people out here who are news people who are doing a lot of work. Judicial Watch is one of them. There's a guy named Dan Bongino who is one who's been doing a lot of digging. Now look, I know these people are Republicans, a lot of them. I don't know why more Democrats are not coming forward with what they know. Except maybe their lives are being threatened. I don't know. I don't know all the details of it. All I know is this stinks. It stinks. You know it stinks. I know it stinks. It just is awful that we have to sit here and watch this day in and day out. And the more it gets unfolded, the more the onion gets peeled back, the stinkier it gets. We as the American people need to stand up and say enough is enough. One of the things we can do, I know this, there's something called the Convention of States that's going on right now. It takes 38 states to make a change to the Constitution or to make a law. We need to put term limits back in place for congressional appointees. Congressmen. Term limits back in place. No more lifetime gee-dunks for you people that think you can sit in Congress and make your own rules and live by them and just live a fat, dumbass life. This is just ridiculous. It's gone on long enough. The Convention of States, go online, search it. There's one going on right now trying to get term limits back in place. I think they're trying to shoot for a 12-year term limit for all elected officials in Washington. I also think they're trying to do there's two other things they're trying to do, but the primary one is term limits. We can't allow them to continue riding roughshod over the American people. This has got to stop. Anyway, I'm done. I love you guys. I'm going to try to post this on YouTube. Maybe it'll go through, maybe it won't. Last one didn't. We'll see. Thank you.